Alright, what is up, football fans? My name is Devin. I run the Raiders Empire Instagram account. This is my first, real YouTube video with me. I thought I'd start off strong right out the gate with my top 10 wide receivers for the 2019 season. I do a lot of opinionated pieces. I don't really mind if I'm incorrect or if you think I'm incorrect. If you disagree with me, go ahead and prove me wrong. I love debating football. I love talking football. I don't mind being incorrect. Let's get right into it. At number 11, as an honorable mention, I have T.Y. Hilton. After coming into the league in 2012, he's shown he could produce at the highest level through any quarterback, any situation. Whether it's Tolzien, Jacoby Brissett, Matt Hasselbeck, Andrew Luck, whoever the quarterback is, and he's shown that he can produce without a running back too. The Colts haven't had a major number one, but Marlon Mack is emerging and emerged last season and is filling that position now. So with more help on the outside and Eric Ebron at tight end with Marlon Mack at running back, I don't see why T.Y. Hilton couldn't break into the top 10. If he can produce by himself with all the coverages that he's facing, why not produce when Andrew Luck is healthy and he has more weapons around him? So yeah, I think there's no reason that T.Y. can't make top 10 or top 5. So alright. Number 10, I have Adam Thielen. I know there's a lot of debate between him and Diggs, who's the real number one receiver on that team. I love Thielen. I think Thielen is a better receiver than Diggs. I guess that kind of spoils it right away. Diggs isn't going to be in my top 10. Adam Thielen is one of the most sure-handed wide receivers in the NFL. And I think what I love most about Thielen is that he's been through so much adversity already, after going undrafted in 2013. He's really broken out. Thielen has proved to be a great option, whether it's Case Keenum throwing him the ball or Kirk Cousins or whoever. I love the situation he's in when he has Diggs on the outside to take away coverages. You got a tight end like Kyle Rudolph and now Irv Smith coming in. I don't see why Thielen can't have a monster season just like he has the last few. So at number 9, I have Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate of this because of the monster numbers he put up last year, despite having 2 different quarterbacks come in during the season. Last season, he put up 1,500 yards and 8 touchdowns, which is insane. His production is going to take a drop off this year, just because he's not going to have a clear-cut number 2 wide receiver to take away from those coverages, which means he's going to be double-teamed a lot. You got to hope that Jameis Winston's able to stay healthy and play well. If Tampa Bay can establish a running game with Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber, I think that'll free things up for Mike Evans. Maybe he won't have to carry the entire offense on his shoulders like he usually does. With the departures of Humphreys and Deshaun Jackson, it's going to be tough for him to be running this offense and being the focal point of it. Mike Evans is athletic, tall, big body, great hands, everything you want in a wide receiver. I just think that coming up this season, there are other receivers that are going to be more productive than he is. So that's why I have him, down there. At number 8 on my list, I have Keenan Allen of the Los Angeles Chargers. The big question with Keenan Allen is he going to stay healthy all season? How many games is he going to play? He could be one of the best wide receivers in the entire league if he can stay healthy and be out there on the field. With all the weapons that the Chargers have, I think that really takes away pressure from Keenan Allen, to be the focal point of the offense. They have Hunter Henry back this year. The Chargers running game is solid with Melvin Gordon. Mike Williams has really filled into that number 2 role. And I think Phillip Rivers makes everybody on the field better, especially at his age, to be producing the way he is and still be, one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league. The only thing that puts him this low on the list is that the Chargers have so many weapons and so many different players to utilize that, Mike Williams is going to get some of those touchdowns. He's a big red zone target. Melvin Gordon, they're always going to feed him the ball. Hunter Henry's back. He's going to be getting some chunks of yardage in there. So I think that Keenan Allen's going to be clear-cut number 1, obviously, but is he going to be that monster wide receiver that we've seen, people like Odell Beckham Jr., Julio Jones, Antonio Brown? Is he going to be that kind of role, or is he just going to be a low-tier number 1 this year? At number 7 on my list, I have Michael Thomas of the New Orleans Saints. Michael Thomas is one of those guys that, as of the last few seasons, has really nudged himself into this top 10 category, top 5 on a lot of people's lists. Anytime you have a quarterback like Drew Brees, Drew Brees is one of the best in the league, and he's going to find ways to get you the ball. When you have a guy like that, he's going to make it real easy for you, especially as a young player growing in this league. Michael Thomas is one of the hardest receivers in the entire league to cover, especially coming off the line. He's tall, he takes the top off of the defense, and He's got a low depth of target, which means he does a lot of the stuff on his own. He's got great hands. He posted an 83% catch rate, which is one of the highest in the NFL. I think it's the highest of receivers last season. There's no doubt in my mind Mike Thomas is just going to keep getting better, and I think there's no chance that he doesn't move up the list after this season and onward in his career. Alright, the next player on my list at number 6 is Davante Adams of the Green Bay Packers. Davante Adams really broke out last year. It was his first season over 1,000 yards. He posted 1,300 yards, and the most impressive thing is that he posted 13 touchdowns last season. You know, it's a really big thing anytime you have a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers who trusts you. Davante Adams moving forward is really going to be taking on that leadership role when you have young receivers like St. Brown, Valdez-Scantling. You know, they're really going to have to rely on Davante Adams to be that clear-cut number one guy. Packers finally have that running game in Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, the tandem. You got to be excited about what Adams has been doing and what he's going to keep doing. He's only getting better in his career. I think anytime you're a favorite of Aaron Rodgers and the clear-cut number one on that Green Bay Packers team, you know, you deserve a spot in the top 10. And it's only going to be easier with running game taking the weight off the shoulders a little bit, Jimmy Graham taking coverages away. St. Brown and Valdez-Scantling are both two players that are going to impress. You know, coming up, they're going to develop really well, especially under that offense. So the only thing about Davante Adams is you got to hope that Matt LaFleur utilizes him well, utilizes him correctly, and allows him to, you know, go down the field and keep making the plays that got him all the way to 13 touchdowns, got him all the way to 1,300 yards last season, and hope that his production continues and gets better instead of slowing down. Alright, now we're moving into the top 5 of my list. At number 5, I have AJ Green of the Cincinnati Bengals. I think anytime that you can be that productive for that long in a system that's kind of plateaued at mediocrity, it's really impressive, and I think AJ Green will only get better even though he's coming off injury. I think AJ Green's going to come back this year well-healed, well-rested, and I think he's going to put up big numbers, and especially now since he has a number 2 like Tyler Boyd on the other side of the field, that it's going to really take away coverages. He's going to be able to move around out there. I think if Tyler Eifert can stay healthy, you know, he'll help open up that offense as well, give AJ Green more opportunities. John Ross is out there. He's going to take the top off the defense, let AJ Green do his thing in the middle of the field, in the slot, on the outside, wherever they want to move him. I think it's going to be a big year for AJ. I don't think it's going to be a big year for the Bengals, but I think AJ Green will, you know, continue to have those great seasons in an otherwise kind of lost season for the Bengals this year. At number 4 on my list, I have Julio Jones of the Atlanta Falcons. Julio Jones is undeniably everything you would want in a wide receiver. 220 pounds, 6'3", easily one of the best jump ball guys in the entire NFL. He's had a record-setting 5 straight seasons with over 1,400 yards. He's got a running back in Devonta Freeman who complements him well and who I think comes back and makes a big impact this season. With all the weapons around him, I think it'll really open up the offense, and I think Julio Jones will just continue to impress, and Matt Ryan's going to find ways to get him the ball. I know you're probably wondering, why is he 4 on the list? Why is he not top 3? I'm going to get into that, so keep watching. At number 3, I have Odell Beckham Jr. I think Odell Beckham Jr. will be one of the best wide receivers this upcoming season, just because I think he hasn't had a quarterback like Baker Mayfield yet. Baker's one of my favorite young players in the entire NFL, and I don't see any reason that Odell Beckham Jr. can't go out there and have a 1,500-yard season with 10-plus touchdowns. I think that Baker's that good, and I think the weapons around OBJ are that good. I think having Landry on the outside is just a dream come true. That's like a perfect wide receiver scenario for any NFL GM, any coach, any player, any fan. Odell Beckham Jr. completely opens up that Browns offense. Baker takes a big leap forward. If we saw Baker explode last season with 13 games, imagine what he'll do with 16 games, plus all the weapons that have been added this season. When the Browns have an offense that features Njoku, Landry, Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Odell Beckham Jr., they're going to find ways that open up that offense, and I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Chubb is a 1,000-yard rusher, OBJ is a 1,500-yard wide receiver, and Landry's a 1,000-yard receiver, and Njoku's an 800-yard, you know, tight end. I wouldn't be surprised if this Browns offense just completely explodes. I think Cleveland and a change of scenery is going to be exactly what OBJ needs. I think this quarterback is unlike any quarterback he's had. You know, after having so many seasons with Eli, it's going to be nice developing together with the young quarterback, developing that chemistry. If we've seen OBJ produce with Eli, I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to absolutely love, you know, coming up with Baker and exploding onto the scene together as a new duo and one of the best duos in the NFL, I think, this upcoming season. At number 2 on my list, I'm sorry, Raider Nation, please forgive me, I have Antonio Brown. You know, I know a lot of you guys are going to ask why he's not number 1. I'm a big Raider fan, but I got to give credit where credit is due. And you'll see with my number 1 receiver. Antonio Brown is 100%, no debate, the hardest worker in the entire NFL. He's in great shape. He works all off season, all season. I think he really likes what we're doing here in Oakland. I think he really is having fun. He's building chemistry with Derek Carr. This is going to be Derek Carr's big year. First year since 2016 he's had this many weapons around him. Antonio Brown is going to be utilized in the slot. He's going to be utilized on the outside. Tyrell Williams is going to take coverage away from him, along with Hunter Renfrow, J.J. Nelson, and we have a tight end in Darren Waller who's really fast, who can take guys away from him. I think that Antonio Brown, you know, is the best yards after catch guy in the entire NFL. He's one of the best wide receivers all time and easily one of the best undersized receivers of all time, which means he won't get open strictly based on size. He'll get open based on his physical ability, based on his athleticism. Easily one of the best route runners in the entire NFL. I don't see why Antonio Brown can't, you know, absolutely revitalize Derek Carr. And Derek Carr's finally going to have the weapons to get down the field, go down the field. Derek Carr's building up his confidence in a second year in that offense with Gruden. All new players. Completely revamped offense. Josh Jacobs is going to help take the load off for sure, open up the offense, and I think Derek Carr is finally going to get that confidence back. He's going to throw it down the field. I'm excited to see, you know, what can happen this season, what Derek Carr will do with Antonio Brown, what Antonio Brown will do in this new offense under Gruden, what kind of plays will be designed specifically for him, and I don't see why, you know, he can't hit that 1,200 to 1,500 yard receiving mark with 10 plus touchdowns. AB is in his prime, and I don't see why him and Derek Carr can make each other better, and I think this duo will absolutely be one of the best in the NFL next season. At number 1 on my list, I have, you guessed it, Juju Smith-Schuster. What I meant to say is, at number 1 on my list, I have Amari Cooper from the Dallas Cowboys. Alright, let's be serious. At number 1 on my list, I have DeAndre Hopkins from the Houston Texans. I mean, this guy's got the best hands in the entire NFL. I love what they're doing in Houston. They bolstered their offensive line this offseason, which means Deshaun Watson's going to get actual time to throw the ball now. And if you saw, you know, DeAndre Hopkins put up 1,500 yards when his quarterback's under pressure the entire season, imagine what he can do with some time with Fuller back on the other side of DeAndre Hopkins, Kuti. They can establish that running game again, and I don't see why DeAndre Hopkins can't be even better than he was last year. Made some of the best catches in the entire NFL last season, and I think that he just continues to improve as Deshaun Watson develops, as Fuller develops, as Kuti develops, as everything, you know, comes into place in Houston. I think that DeAndre Hopkins is just going to absolutely keep killing it, and I think he's going to be one of the most fun wide receivers to watch in the entire game next year, and I'm excited to see what they can do. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to debate, if you want to tell me I'm wrong, if you want to laugh at me, go ahead and do it in the comments. Hit me with a like, a dislike, whatever you want. Prove me wrong, prove me right. I don't care. Follow me on Twitter at Devin T. DeLeon. Follow me on Instagram at Raiders Empire. Subscribe, and I'll hit you guys with some more videos as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.